Okay, well, let's stop the madness. Let's stop the madness. I was locked up in prison when the race was between Al Gore and George Bush. Why is the media not telling you that the case is in the Supreme Court? Now, I don't really know the facts of all that because I couldn't observe when I was incarcerated. But if this is what's happening, you know how they had Al Gore supposedly was winning. I don't know but one of them, Bush or Gore, took it to the United States Supreme Court. And what did the United States Supreme Court do? I think the facts were that the Supreme Court said stop the voting or something like that. And that is how George Bush won. Now, the Democrats already know, they haven't told you all that the case, and the media has not told you all, that the case is in the United States Supreme Court. So the only thing that I can see that they want to do is divide us and cause a civil war, because they know the Supreme Court is going to declare this race for Trump. They know that's coming. So why would you, other than if you just want to divide these people, go out ahead and act like you won something? You know, ABC News, CBS, none of these people decide elections, disputes. In this case, you got, it is not also for the public to, what's his name, ABC News, CBS, CNN, to be talking about evidence. Where your evidence? That is a judgment call. That is something that is assessed by the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure or the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure about what y'all call evidence. It is evidence if you put paper over window where people cannot watch you count votes. That is what you call evidence. I call it proof. What is there too much sun getting in here or what? We have free election. That is enough. That the Supreme Man, okay, people, look, don't make yourself look like a damn fool. This might have been another thing had the Supreme Court not taken the case. The news media told you that a court kick. They got you all thinking because the lower courts dismissed. That's fine. The Supreme Court take that case that they dismissed and hear the case on what we call the merits. If a lower court dismissed the case, did the judge dismiss without prejudice? Was it dismissed because it was too ripe? There could be a lot of reasons why the lower court dismissed the case in the first instance, but it doesn't mean that the case cannot be refiled. It also does not mean that the Supreme Court, after it leaves the federal district court, it then goes to an appellate federal court. When the federal appellate court rules, if they reverse the lower court, it goes back. If they don't reverse and let the decision stand of the lower federal court, then Trump, if he is the loser, takes it to the U.S. Supreme Court. The U.S. Supreme Court has one case already, but ABC News has told you all that they denied it. They did not. They only denied a separate motion to expedite the case before the election. The court, what they said, punt it. No, let's wait. That's what the court's ruling was. We'll wait. These Democrats are setting you up. Not only, we're not going to laugh at you, make a mockery out of you because you are the American people, but there's so much going on that on one side, we got the voter fraud, because they also doing, that's like on the criminal side. But just hold on. Don't get out there celebrating because there's no need. You got to understand that the referees are sitting here talking about a ball call. This a dispute. Trust me, I know. I used to file lawsuits all the time. So even if, although the Supreme Court always ruled against me, I know how the process works. That's the point. So again, it is in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court will always take a case when it has national importance. This case has national importance. They step in because this would cause a civil war. They are disputing the election. What the president, what y'all call him president-elect, should do, he's not a president-elect because ABC News cannot call an election. Now, what Joe Biden was supposed to do, but this is all George Soros. He don't live over here, so he don't give a damn if we burn our own country up. He don't like us anyway. But the prostitutes and pimps are doing what he says to do. Now, so that's why I say he wants a civil war. This is his next move he's making. Him and Trump are playing chess, okay, people, and our military. Now, please, if at any time, understand what I'm saying, please, because we do not need a civil war. Just go ahead and Google. Get somebody to tell you how Bush became president. He did not become president because of what the voters said, because we really don't know. From what I remember, Gore took it to the Supreme Court, or Bush took it to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court took the case and decided in such a way that it gave the presidency to Bush based upon the law. So, in this case, Trump's team are alleging that there is voter fraud. It is for the Supreme Court, in light of what we call the federal rules of evidence. We got federal rules of civil evidence and we got federal rules of criminal evidence. Voter fraud. So the key here is voter fraud, voter suppression. If, because I don't know, there is what y'all call evidence of voter fraud. If people were not allowed in, we got video, I'm looking at it on TV, that they was not allowed. I'm seeing them covering up windows. That's all they need, is just to show they was covering the windows. Voter fraud. And then they give it to Trump, but not. Now, this is how they do it. What was the total of the, for example, when they stop counting, they may come in and say that they committed voter fraud by an orchestrated scheme that they would stop counting, and they'll show what they call evidence. All these states stopped counting as soon as Fox News declared the election in Arizona for Joe Biden. They stopped counting. I mean, when they did that, but Trump wasn't ahead, right? Come on, now this common out. The Supreme Court, Justice Alito, we ask that you take judicial notice that at the time that they stopped counting the votes, Fox News, out the blue, just declared Arizona for Trump and put it in the, not Trump, Joe Biden column, and put it in the column. Yeah, we take judicial notice of that. We take judicial notice. People, see, a court can take judicial knowledge or notice of something that is judicially known. They take judicial notice of Facebook, Twitter. They do that. They can do that legally, lawfully. That's what they do. But what they can't take is notice of things that are private. Now the judge may know. Okay, go read this case. It's called Wilson versus Wilson versus State, volume 677, Southwest 2D, beginning at page 518, Texas Court of Criminal Appeals. And then Judge Teague therein will explain what I'm trying to quickly explain to you now about the difference between judicial notice when things are judicially known to a judge or a justice and when things are not judicially known. So as Judge Teague put it, a judge may know something private that is not judicially known. So to make known of his information, the judge can be asked to take the bench and testify to the knowledge that he knows. So what they do, they bring in another judge, and then this judge will take the stand as a witness and testify to knowledge that he knows privately. So what these homosexuals are doing is just Mr. Trump, so the military don't have to come in because you are creating, this is George Soros' way of getting us divided. They already goddamn lied to you when they told you, so that's proof of a scheme. Now, they trying to get a civil war here. So I'm coming out ahead of them at this point. I think I've already tried to do that and to let you know that we got to wait to see what the Supreme Court says, and they cannot win it because there is too much. You don't need but one instance of a showing. Y'all call it evidence. I don't like evidence. Me and her ain't never been friends. Oh, but even on the evidence, see, it could be, you can wake up in the morning, you can see the streets wet. You assume that it rained, when in fact, the city came by and washed the streets. It did not rain, but it appears that it did, so that's evident. But in this case, the federal rules at the district court level determines what evidence is admissible. In this case, you cannot go to 9 people sitting on the Supreme Court and show them video of people covering the windows where poll watchers can't see inside. What you covering windows for? Why do you cover windows at your own house? That's why we don't want people looking in. So again, and I'll end the videos, we want to act, look, you ain't finna make me look like a fool in front of a woman. I don't do that. I don't care about being made to appear to be a fool in front of a man. He got a dick. A woman does not. Now, you don't want to be made to look like a fool. Again, we love you. We will not mock you. But we want you to know that the case, just as far as I know right now, one case is pending in the Supreme Court. When all the lawsuits have been filed, and whether it says, see, there's only one way to get to heaven, but there's more than one way to get to the United States Supreme Court. You can get there from on a state avenue, alleging a federal violation of the federal law or federal constitution, or you can get there from a federal level, alleging a violation of the Constitution or federal law. That's how you get there. So in your petition, you allege facts, what we call a claim. The court will determine whether or not voter fraud is a claim. Of course it is. Then you support your claim with what they call evidence. I call it proof. What would be the proof? The proof would be the tangible and intangible videos of this actually taking place. Therefore, the court will let the attorneys argue. They looking at it, they already know what's going on, but you get due process. Joe Biden gets to go and then try to explain why he covered windows, why all these ballots, why what they call irregularity. See, the Democrats don't use such words. The Democrats say they cheating, or they say that, and they go out. But Republicans, they want to be friendly and look and talk friendly and soft. Judge, they were committing voter fraud, and they got caught cheating. We got here's the proof. And we ask that it's already been admitted into evidence at the district court's level. And okay, then when the arguments are over, the court calls the court into recess and go back to consider their decision. Then they vote. How you vote? I vote in favor of the appellate. I mean, the petitioner. I voted in favor of the respondent. They determine what the who has voted one way. They vote. Okay, the vote 6-5 votes for Trump, 4 for Joe Biden. The court announces its decision. When the decision is announced, then they denounce that the votes that were publicly known before the counting start are what the total number of the votes are. All such votes that came in after the voting stop are ordered invalid. That's all they do. They don't declare Trump win. They don't do that. They just declare the law based upon the facts as submitted to them. That was the evidence. So this case, the evidence. I hate that word, but the evidence determines whether or not that was voter fraud. You don't have to have a quantum, 1,000 instances of suppressing or hiding. Voter fraud is you shouldn't have never covered the windows. Shouldn't have never done that. That's voter fraud. That's voter fraud. When you come into the bank and you got your face covered up, you got your gloves on, that's evidence. I mean, I don't like that word, proof that you intend to commit a crime. The United States, as like the United States, like a federal judge here in Houston told him, this is not action filed by an inmate in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institution alleging a violation of Title 42 United States Code Section 1983 of a violation of his civil rights. This is action brought by the United States government alleging conspiracy. The United States need not show goddamn harm. What the fuck wrong with you people? This is 2020. This is 2020. 20 years ago, we was in the same situation. Oh, maybe some of you wasn't born. Maybe some of you were old and crazy. Okay, I guess, they'll start telling you all. But, well, I guess they don't want it. The news people are not telling you what's going on. So, to the extent that this video can get out, and so you just sit down, just sit down. The case is in the United States Supreme Court. I don't know why even Rudy and Trump people have not told you all that we got one case pending already in the Supreme Court. Justice Alito just issued an order. So why is Joe Biden going out here declaring victory? He should have come out and told y'all, hey, they file a lawsuit against us, and it's this is what you do, and so they're disputing, and they saying and so it's going to go to the Supreme Court because it's a case, election that affects the entire nation. The Supreme Court will take every case they send them. Now the lower courts that work with us, they try to, but the Supreme Court, that's why we didn't want Amy to get on. Now that Amy's on, they got it in the bag. They gonna cheat us in the Supreme Court. But we gonna wait and see what happened. But they gonna cheat us, and if they do, we take it to the street. And then the goddamn United States military gonna stop you.